Yo guys, what is up? It's Teacher's Game 2 here, coming at you again with another one of these rating soaker videos. Now, I am here to show you right now the Paraceratherium. Now, just a quick little plug, if you haven't subbed and liked already, if you don't mind mashing that like button, and check out some of my content. I got some cool stuff, and I'd appreciate it if you'd sub. I'm going to take this guy into war for you, so sub. So anyways, continuing. The Paraceratherium is commonly the most used online rating tame in the game, simply for one reason, and I'm going to show you that before we even start anything. Because you can place down a platform saddle on this guy, you can build yourself in a nice little box, and it means no one can pick you. They actually have to kill the Paraceratherium. Oh, not what I wanted. Oh well, you get the point. So, you build a little box around yourself, just like this. And boom, you have yourself a nice little box. When you actually ride this Paraceratherium, you can see you cannot be picked. So basically you just have that thing and then you're good to go. Now, when you hop off, you're in the box, and that is actually how you do a lot of these. I'm just going to demolish this. What was that? That's very... okay, well, this is interesting. There, much better. Now, basically, there it is. That's what I was waiting for. Turning it off. Now, so this Paraceratherium, you put that box up there and you can't be picked out. You can't do any of that stuff, which is really nice, obviously. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how that stacks up against this stuff. There's a reason that people use it. It has a really high health ratio. Now, to give you a comparison, it's not the highest health, actually, not even close. The Diplodocus actually has double the amount of health, base health. So, put that in perspective. Now, it's going to take the same amount of damage from the X-Plant as all other tames do, of that 18, and then the damage over time. But the big thing the X-Plant does, just like we all know, it slows you down, and it allows people and turrets to do more damage. So, 18 damage, quite a bit actually. It's not one of those things that you should be super afraid of because, well, it can't really do enough to kill you. That build-up damage over time can, however. So be careful about the build-up damage, but that's about the only thing you actually want to watch out for. Now let's go ahead and test the auto turret. Now, the auto turret to this guy does full damage, like you can see, 65 damage. There is no way to reduce that damage. And I'm trying to do like a circle here so you can actually see. It does full damage no matter what. So there's that 65 full circle. So it does full damage, so it doesn't really have any way to prevent itself from taking damage. The box is the only real reason that people use this. So is it the best soaker? No. Is it the best online soaker? Yes, by far, because there's no way to get you out. Now, let's go ahead and show you this guy here. So, the tech turret does 250 damage, as you can see right here. Now, if you move a little bit, it actually does a little bit of exploding damage on you. So that extra 102, I think is what it was. Yep, 102 if you're moving, so it does like the bonus damage for you. However, if you're not doing that, it's just the 250 base. So it does basic damage to you. It doesn't actually change anything. Now let's go over and see the most damaging turret, which is this guy right here. Okay, Triceratops, thank you. Now, the heavy turret does 256 damage, which is 6 more damage than anything else. It doesn't do any splash. However, it is LOS, so it does a lot of damage in general. So, as you can see, I'll just sit here and soak. It does take quite a bit. I mean, 256, give or take like 3 times a second. So you're looking at a DPS of around 900 on this guy, which is not that bad, all things being considered, because you've got the box to protect yourself from above, and it's just, in general, a good tame to have. So we're going to go ahead and move him over here, and like always, I'll run him into the death wall over there just to see how long this dude lasts. I mean, it's going to be about half as long as the, well, we already know that, but oh well. If you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. So this guy. Now, I've got a heal paste in here just to show you this is a wild tame. Base stats that you're going to be able to hit wild on these, you're probably looking at about 60k, give or take, health. Not all that much. I mean, give or take, we're talking. So, there's that 60k health mark. I was pretty close, 57. So, obviously these guys don't really have a value in raising the other stats because they're basically just soakers. They're not fast enough or as good as the Bronto at weight, nor are they good at gathering berries compared to the Bronto, so really, just health. That's about all I can think of that you want to use for these guys. Health and health and health and health and health and health, and you get it. So, now what do? Now, when you're online, obviously, you don't have to worry too much when you're using this guy because you put a box over your head. But if you're offline, then it doesn't matter if you have the box or not. So that's why I'm doing this, because it's not like I'm fighting anybody. Now let's show you how long this lasts against my turret wall. It's not going to be very long. Like I said, not very long. So this guy is not something that's meant to take on a full wall because, well, you saw. Now you do get the imprint bonus if you are raising one, so that's helpful. If you had a nicer saddle of some sort, that would be helpful. However, they take a load of damage really quickly. Now you can see like my little field of death here. Now we're going to go ahead and run past that one with the other racer. And we're going to go ahead and see what it does. I mean, I already know the consequence. They don't have that much health, so really they're not even close to the best offline. But online, they just have that ability to stand in there so you don't get picked. Even then, if you have your Triceratops set as something or something else set so it's not moving, they'll soak. I mean, because if you're raiding somebody, you probably don't care about the tames you're raiding with that much. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you. So, now we're moving in. Pretty crazy, all in all. It's lasting a little bit. I mean, that's pretty nutso, but boom. I would say that's about half as long as the Diplodocus, which is kind of unfortunate because, you know, that's a tame, or this was a tame that I thought would do pretty well. It just didn't. So when it comes to offline raiding, racers are just terrible compared to the two things we've tested so far with the Triceratops and the Diplodocus. However, online, they are still the reigner of everything just because, you know, they don't get picked and you don't get picked off of them. Even then, I'd still argue I'd like the trike more because you can run, and usually you're not just raiding alone. So you've probably got somebody covering you if you're using a Triceratops. Now, obviously, that's not always the case, but that's my personal opinion. Yeah, good luck, turrets. I mean, just to give you a comparison of what this looks like up close, these things are shooting a lot of bullets. So, there. So they do a ton of damage. It's not like it's something that is, I mean, it's impressive that it lasted as long as it did. I will say that much. So, this is obviously my cleaner of the thing, but that being said, I think my consideration right now is I wouldn't even put this guy in the top couple right now, because if I had a Triceratops and I wouldn't be worried about getting picked off of it too much, I would just make sure it's on passive. That way these turrets keep shooting at it and it's got veggie cakes in its inventory, so it'll auto eat those. And I mean, you can't really complain too much. Yeah, you get the reduced damage and you get that kind of stuff, but as of right now, the Racer is not in the top. I guess it's number 3 of the things we've tested so far between the Triceratops and the Diplodocus. So, I mean, that's my opinion, so take that for what you will. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, which is okay. You're more than welcome to. I just think that the Triceratops performed better, and so did the Diplodocus, because it's got more base health. Now, yes, it's harder to get picked off of that thing, and you can like move back and forth, theoretically. But I mean, that's up to you if you wanted to figure out where turret range is and just kind of dip, duck, dodge, and dive if you get a lot of time. But if you're like me, you're impatient, so I'm just going to run that trike right here, go get a new one, run the next trike, so on and so forth. That's how I would do it, but you know, entirely up to you. I think that it's probably the best online because, again, you don't get picked. But overall, I still rank it as 3 out of 3. 3 of the 3 things we've tested, I still put it in at number 3 probably, because its base health isn't as high and it doesn't have any sort of reduction in damage. Alright, well anyways, if you have any comments or thoughts about the video, please go ahead and tell me. And other than that, hopefully I'll get one to you soon. Alright, Teacher's Game 2, out.